Welcome back to the channel, Prepared Wanderer in the Man Cave today, and we are going to take a look at a belt rig that I've been putting together and I've been using, and I want to kind of give you my thoughts on it. This has definitely been an evolution of gear. If you go back in my videos, if you do follow my channel, you know that I've done a couple of different LBE belt kits in the past, and it all started with an Alice kit. The Alice belt with canteens and the Y suspenders. That was my first video. I really liked that setup. I thought it was comfortable as kind of a general woods survival rig, just for heading out in the woods and scouting around. And then I started utilizing a Molly belt pad and added some different pouches to that. Tried that out for a little bit, but it wasn't quite hitting all the marks for me. It just didn't hold enough gear. And then today we are at the present, and I think probably the final form, because this belt rig I put together I absolutely love. It really meets my needs. And what is this for? Well, if you've been following the channel recently, we've been doing a series of videos with in conjunction with the Modern Minuteman. His channel, Jay, if you follow his channel, you know, you're very familiar with him and what he does. His philosophy is that you need to be a prepared citizen, and, you know, that means going out in the woods with your chest rig, your battle belt, whatever, your rifle, and practicing the different skills that it takes to patrol your property and to protect yourself. And he does a fantastic job on his channel. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that Minuteman philosophy, check his channel out. I did a series of videos with him. There was one where we discussed his book. He's a published author, and we went through that. Link down below for that as well. And then in the second video, we talked about some basic patrolling techniques. If you own a homestead or a farm, and you want to do some patrolling and things to look out for. Fantastic opportunity for me to get out in the woods and learn with him and practice some of this stuff that we always talk about. And I was able to utilize this belt kit during that weekend of training with him out in the woods. And it performed flawlessly. So we're going to go through that today in detail, the components of it, what's in it, and I'll give you my thoughts on what I think about it and why I like it so much. So I'm going to apologize right now. I'm still getting over a very bad head cold. It's really affected my voice, and my last couple of videos I struggled to get through them just talking, and I'm just starting to get better. But I really wanted to show this kit to you because I'm just in love with it. It's fantastic. It's worked out so well, better than my expectations, but it's something that I put together through various components. And the idea of an LBE kit is that it is very non-restrictive in movement. You're able to wear it over layers. You don't have something heavy on your back. You don't have a chest rig that is going to slow you down from going in the prone position. So you're able to do a lot of different types of movement with it. And it just, for me, it makes a lot of sense. Now, I still utilize chest rigs and backpacks. I have a couple different setups that I'm experimenting with this year. But this one, this LBE setup is done. I've tested it, and I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up. Now, starting off, what we have here is the main focus of this kit is a very large butt pack. And this butt pack comes from a company called Nixieworks. If you're into this kind of stuff, you're probably familiar with these guys. They are on Instagram. They have a fantastic product that they produce, and it is this very large, expandable butt pack. Now, you can buy the butt pack on its own as a piece by itself, and then you can molly that onto your own kit, and that's what I did. Or you can buy their butt pack, which is already attached to their LBE kit, their belt, with their suspender system, and then you can add pouches to it as you like. It really made sense for me to do my own. I wanted that flexibility because I wanted to be able to configure things differently. And as time evolved and changed, I would add different pouches to it. And this kit has that ability. So the first thing we're going to look at is the butt pack. Now, as you can tell, it is huge. It is so much bigger than a standard military butt pack. We have a very large flap on the front. And you open that up, and it has an expandable collar, which is very tall, and that's where you get the ability to expand the size of this thing. So if you want to stack this full of gear, put that flap over and carry more stuff, you're able to do that. It has two very large water bottle pockets on the side, and there's a bungee retention at the top, so you can clip in your water bottle, your canteen, and then there is bungee cinch cord that goes around the perimeter of that pocket, so you can cinch that load in, and it really securely holds your canteen set. What's nice is you can hold a variety of kits. So this is my Gritter titanium canteen kit. It has kind of a different shape to it. It's more of a square canteen kit. It fits in there perfectly. It's very secure. And then on the other side, same kind of thing. We've got bungee retention at the top, and then a cinch cord on the side, and I've just got a standard Nalgene Oasis canteen in here. You can also fit standard 32-ounce Nalgenes or stainless bottles. When I was testing this rig out, that's what I used. I actually had a grail on one side and a stainless on the other. They're a little bit tall, so they kind of stick out a little bit more. I prefer the canteens because they sit flatter and they sit deeper in the pocket, so they're not as exposed. I think they perform better that way. But in any case, you have the ability to basically use any kind of water container you want to use with this pocket because it is so generous. The only ding I have on this is that they did not put drain holes on the water bottle pockets. I don't quite understand why. I would think that would be a pretty standard thing to do. It usually is in most canteen carriers, but they did not. So that's kind of a negative on those. And then the bottom of the butt pack, there are straps that are built in that you can cinch down something on the outside. I like to carry a sit pad. It makes for stopping and having a break or food or something more comfortable. Keep my butt off the ground, keep my butt warm and dry. So sit pad fits in there nicely. This thing, it's just an unbelievable amount of volume that it carries. You can get a lot of stuff in here. So I've got my dry bag, and in here I have socks, my headlamp, some spare batteries. There is a small first aid kit, and then there's a toiletry kit with some toilet paper, wipes, foot powder. There's some medications like antidiarrheals, decongestants, things like that. So just kind of personal care items are all stored in here. On top of that, I've got a food bag, and in here are a bunch of items that I can eat quickly and don't require a lot of cooking. But I do have the lid to my canteen cup in case I do want to boil water or boil water for some kind of food. I've got some MRE components in here as well. Coffee. There's also some hydration multipliers in here. Just a variety of items that I can grab and eat. Another item I carry in my butt pack is my weapons maintenance kit. So just a heavy-duty tool pouch, but I've got, you know, a variety of different items to clean my rifle, maintain it, some basic tools, nothing too elaborate, but I think that's important. If you're going to carry a rifle in the woods and out, you need to have some way of maintaining that weapon, and you don't have to have a very extensive kit, and this one is something I assembled myself with various components. All the different things that I would need to build a shelter. So I've got 550 cord, I've got some bungee cords, there are some zip ties, and then I also carry some tent stakes with some 550 cord on the end of them. That way I don't have to fashion them in the field. I can use these quickly to set up my shelter. That way if I have to get out of the elements very quickly, I can do that. I don't want to be messing around with a lot of different stuff. And then for my shelter, a system that I've tested and that I've used and I prefer is a military style poncho. So this does double duty. I can wear this if it starts raining to cover myself, but if I have to create a hasty shelter, I certainly can do that, not a problem, pretty easy to set up, and it does a good job of coverage. And then the last thing in here is something that I can put on the ground to, you know, stop that cold and that wetness from getting on me, getting up, you know, soaking up into my clothes. But also I can wrap up in this, so this is a casualty blanket. Some people call them a grabber blanket or a survival blanket, space blanket, whatever you want to call it. They do basically the same thing, but it's a multi-purpose item. I can wrap up in this. I can lay on top of it. You know, I can throw it over my shoulders if I'm cold. Just a couple different ways of using it, and it works. It works pretty well, and it's very lightweight. Now, this butt pack is built on a MOLLE system, and what I've done is I've done something a little bit different. I found a belt pad and a harness system that I absolutely love. It works perfectly for my needs, comes in a variety of sizes, and I know some people are going to probably have some hate on this, and I understand that. But I am not a professional soldier, but this is a Condor MOLLE belt pad. What I love about it is that it is a little bit taller and wider than most. It has, you know, this wider section at the top, which is great for this big butt pack. It gives it something to MOLLE onto. You've got these grip pads built into it, which helps. And then the belt is just a 2-inch duty belt. Slips right in there. And there's just plenty of MOLLE on this thing to attach all my pouches. And then the harness is Condor as well, but it's a fantastic H-harness system. It's very comfortable. It works very well with this belt setup. It does have a sternum strap built into it, and it has MOLLE on the back in case you want to attach another pouch of some sort, and a grab handle. Probably wouldn't trust the grab handle. You know, I wouldn't probably pull my buddy with this thing. Maybe, I don't know, it might work. But it's there, so you have that. Now, since this butt pack is so large, this MOLLE panel is pretty close to it. And when I put this thing on, you'll see how it fits me. So there really isn't an opportunity to put a hydration bladder on this thing. It's too short. So probably what I'm going to do is I found a hydration tube that fits a canteen. So I'm going to run that on one of my canteens and then run that tube up the harness. And that way in the summertime, I can drink water that way and don't have to reach around to the back and grab that canteen. It's going to give me that hands-free option. And then on either side of the butt pack, I have the MOLLE 2 saw pouches in woodland. I think these are the saw 200 pouches. These make great general purpose pouches. So in here, I have a military blowout kit that has been sealed in a bag. I keep that in the bag for training purposes just because when it's time to actually use it, I don't want it to be all degraded and torn apart. So that keeps it dry and keeps it contained. But there's everything in there. There's a tourniquet, there's scissors, there's large bandages. I think there's some quick clot type material. There's all kinds of stuff in there. So it's a very complete military blowout kit. So that goes there. Then of course, 2 round magazine pouches, 2 of those, and then a tourniquet pouch on the end. And then the exact same setup over here, saw pouch, magazine pouch, magazine pouch. And then on this end, the only thing that I've done differently is I have a little Maxpedition key keeper. And that's where I hang my gloves. What I like about this pouch setup is that there is a lot of ability to do different things with it. So if I want to do magazines up front, I can. If I want to put a radio in here, I can. Of course, I don't have the antenna and the cords on it, but it illustrates the point that you could put your radio in here, run your radio out of that. It just gives me some different options of what I want to carry in here. This saw pouch on this side is kind of a miscellaneous item for me. So I've got glow sticks, I've got a smoke grenade, I have my my alcohol stove in here for my canteen cup. So I can put a lot of different stuff in here. If I had night vision, I could run that in there. Binoculars, just whatever I want. It also fits magazines as well. So if I really wanted to go heavy on the amount of magazines I carry, I can do that. But if I'm running these 4 and I just put magazines in these pouches, that gives me 8 magazines plus 1 on my rifle. I believe that's a combat load. But if I don't want to run that many magazines, I don't feel like the need to, I can put a radio on one of these, more med supplies, whatever. So it gives me a lot of flexibility when I'm setting this thing up. All right, so here we have it on. Now, Nixieworks, their setup, their belt kit, they call the Light Fighter set. That's the belt, the suspenders, the butt pack is 1 unit. It's all kind of sewn together, and then it has MOLLE on the sides. You can add your own pouches. This is my Franken rig. I took the individual butt pack, which they sell individually, and then I added that to all this other kit that I had to the Condor belt pad and the Condor harness. Harness is very comfortable. I wore this all day long on a patrol practice with Jay, the modern Minuteman, with my rifle, full load, water, mags, everything. Carried so comfortably, it was fantastic. A lot of times when I carry a backpack, doesn't matter how good of a backpack it is, I will get some shoulder pain and some strain in my neck. It's inevitable. I'm used to that. I experience none of that with this setup because it takes the weight and it puts it all on your hips, and then the straps lift a little bit of that weight off, but it's not hanging on your shoulders like a backpack does. It's more like, almost more like a backpacking backpack where a lot of the weight goes on the belt and not on your shoulders. You could do easily 12 to 24 to even 48 hours out in the field with this because of the expandability of that butt pack. It carries it very comfortably. Now, there's a couple extra straps on this that I put, and I'm going to show those to you in a minute why I have those, because it's a little bit of a different thing that I've come up with. But as you can see, I'm a pretty good sized guy, got a little extra weight around the middle. This still fits very comfortably. I'm able to access pouches very quickly, very easily. I can even reach back and get a canteen if I really had to, but I don't want to. That's kind of hard on my shoulders. But everything rides very nicely. And you can see in the back how that rides perfectly. the chest pack. This is something that I've kind of come up with. This is my own idea. I haven't seen other people do this, but what I had is I had these extra straps. These are from Hill People Gear, from one of their chest packs. This is designed to hang their chest pack off of shoulder straps. And I think you can buy these individually from Hill People Gear. But what I did is I took this admin pouch that I had, because I really like the size of it. It's small. And I put a couple Grimlocks. And then all I have to do is open those Grimlocks up. And the end of that strap, of that Hill People Gear strap, has a loop sewn into it. Clip that. Same thing this way. And then what I can do is I can pull these tight. Hard to get started. There we go. Now I have a very low profile, small admin pouch. This opens up. It has bungee cord built into it so it doesn't flop open. I believe this pouch is from Survivor or something like that. I think that's the name of the company. It's a very inexpensive pouch, but it's fantastic in that it holds my compass, my notebook. It came with a removable map case, a small one. I've got some lip balm, a Bic lighter. I've got my red light in here for map reading. I even got my Leatherman rebar. That fits in here. Small signal panel and a small reflective armband for identification. But everything is in here, and what's so nice about this is that if I'm shouldering a rifle, it does not interfere with this. This is very low profile, very flat against my chest, and I'm able to have all those little necessities that I want to get at for land navigation, taking notes, whatever. Fits perfectly in this pouch. All right, guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. You know, you're not limited with your gear. There's lots of options on the market today, and I really like building my own stuff that fits my needs. I'm not kind of pigeonholed into whatever the manufacturer comes up with and just using things straight out of the box. This Franken rig that I've built works extremely well for my needs, what I want it to do. And it's built with a variety of components, from military surplus to, you know, high-end, more one-off gear like Nixieworks, and then all the way to very budget gear like Condor. But it all works flawlessly together. It's comfortable. So put your gear together and then get out in the field and try it out. Walk around in the woods, carry your rifle, put a full load on your kit, and see how it feels and spend the whole day in it. And you'll quickly figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then hopefully you'll be ready when something happens. Stick around for more videos like this. I'm going to be doing a whole series of videos testing out different patrolling methods and Minuteman setups and getting out in the woods and just training. It's going to be a fantastic year. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, liking this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.